whole thing, the whole like 40 minutes was about name brands versus store brands. Tasani water, and that it had salt in it. Your phones are always listening to you. A lot of technology is always listening to you. Chuck E. Cheese does not want their workers to get hurt by super sharp blades. This guy got a random voicemail and it was the phonetic alphabet. One of the conspiracies that I do semi-believe is around Brittany's voice. Backstory for Flintstone. Honestly, this is kind of a cool backstory, I'm not gonna lie. Hey guys, so I'm back on my new camera because I don't know how long this video is going to take, and this is the only camera I can use for long form content at the moment. Quality is not great. I really apologise. I'm going to definitely update my microphone very soon, because the one that came with this camera is a piece of shit. And I'm also, we'll see how this comes out. This looks slightly better, at least, than my previous videos. Anyway, today's video. I've done a few Shane Dawson videos in the past, but I saw on Twitter that first of all he had done a whole video. Well, actually I didn't even know it was the whole video. I thought it was similar to previous conspiracy videos from like 2019. He would do about 3 conspiracies and he would eke that out for like an hour and 45 minutes or something. I thought it was going to be something similar. So when I tell you, when I did shitloads of research for this video, finding like 25-minute videos with so many conspiracies in, literally, like, look at the amount, 2 pages front and back with like a bunch of conspiracies from loads of his videos. I didn't go through every single one because, oh my god, was there so fucking many, and the majority of them, it doesn't matter. But anyway, when I tell you I was shocked when I finally came to just have a quick scan of his newest video and find that the whole like 40 minutes was about name brands versus store brands.
Which 2 are you trying?
So these are normal Cheetos.
Normal Cheetos.
And these are Clancy's from Aldi. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my
you had to put
god!
them in, because how are you gonna know they're identical?
That was crazy.
So regular Cheeto.
Aldi. That's a fucking Cheeto.
No!
Fucking Cheeto.
And I was like, the Cheetos aren't going to be the same Shane. They're the same.
That is crazy. Oh my god. Why am I so shook by this?
I didn't watch like any of the video, I'm not gonna lie, because people had already said that the video is literally not a conspiracy. Everyone already knows that name brands are going to be more expensive than anything store brand value. That he was able to eke that out for 40 odd minutes is just unbelievable. And then, I can't believe this, and then he literally turns around and asks his subscribers and like followers on Instagram or whatever it was to go and share the video and like the video because the engagement and the views are really low. At this point I think he's going to pull a Gabby Hanna and say that he's been shadow banned. The reason it's not news, the reason he's not being fucking watched anymore and his engagement is low is literally the consequences of his actions. People have finally had enough. The rose-tinted glasses of the Shane Dawson nice guy, that glass is shattered, and everyone saw who the fuck he actually was, that he hasn't changed throughout all this time. He's literally just pulled the wool over everyone's eyes. He's done a lot of shit in the past. He ignored it for a really long time during COVID, literally just left the internet and was like, do you know what, everyone's going to forget about this. Never ever addressed it. All he did was end up privating or deleting, I don't know which, a bunch of his old content, which was extremely offensive. Came back as if nothing fucking happened. And then, I mean, he came back with a 3-part series, which was, it was just vlogs. It was apparently meant to be like this ghost hunting thing. The first one was literally just, the most ghost hunting was him going into his basement and being like, I think I have a ghost in my basement. And it might have scratched. Is his cameraman now named Chris?
What happened?
Your mom's house was built.
Oh, I don't know.
Are you serious?
Did you?
Yeah.
You really? I was gonna ask you about that like 2 hours ago, but I was like, I don't know if it's a sensitive subject.
I don't know. I probably
You don't know what that is?
No.
It just happened.
Wait, stop! You're scaring me so much.
Are you serious?
That?
What?
I don't know.
Well, it's
Shut
fresh.
up.
It's new. It's gonna hurt.
No, it was there when we were filming earlier.
Well, so it's been there. So I don't know. I'm clumsy. I probably did it in my sleep.
Chris.
Stop it! I'm so scared.
It's just the consequences of his actions. That's why his video is not performing. But anyway, I saw this tweet about, you know, him asking for help on his newest video, and Like, he was so removed from reality now that he thought that this was a conspiracy theory about name brands being more expensive, that I thought I'd go through some of his previous conspiracies and just sort of like decide which ones were the worst. So I wanted to start with this one from the Shane Glosson one, because I remember this was when I was a Shane fan and I was watching these conspiracy videos, and I used to follow him on Instagram, and basically he didn't have any new content because why would he film new content? And when he was doing the original two conspiracy videos in 2019, he decided that there was 3 conspiracy theories or whatever weren't worthy to go in the actual video. And he felt like editing, so he edited this and put it on his Shane Glosson channel, which is now Shane 2, and it is still there. Honestly, I was going through these videos, and no word of a lie, he was debunking his own fucking conspiracies before he even got to the point of the conspiracy. Like, he would say, the reason is probably due to this, but hear me out, here's this ridiculous idea. Like, you've already debunked your own theory before you even told us your theory. I did think that was kind of dumb. Like, at least give us what you think is going to be this crazy thing, and then be like, it's probably due to, you know, this thing. Craziest conspiracy theories. This is the one from Shane Glosson. The first one is about Champion. Well, I don't even really know much about the brand. I think I've seen some influencers or celebrities or whatever have them on their shirts.
Champion has been killing it the last 2 years. Kanye wore it, which built a lot of hype for it.
I was like, is Champion like a bougie thing? I'm very confused.
But basically, it was Champion used to be a brand that was super cheap. That you used to get at, like, I want to say Walmart or something like that. Now it is really overpriced. So they were trying to say that, oh, well, you can get it at pretty cheap, kind of middle ground, and then really expensive.
Pretty much the same Champion hoodie is being sold at Walmart for $29, Urban Outfitters for $70, and some place called Farfetch for $118.
And then they went into, I want to say Walmart, whatever store it was, and found that there was no Champion clothing there, so they'd clearly been removed from the store.
Okay. Looking. See it.
Yeah.
And the t-shirt.
It's not at
Why so
Walmart
sad?
anymore?
Oh, we don't have.
No. Okay.
I bet that there's somebody in the Champion office trying to convince somebody to get all that shit out of Walmart.
The theory was that there was multiple price points so that everyone could afford it, so that they were kind of covering all bases and getting as much money as possible. That is a possibility. What I think happened is simply that Champion used to be an affordable brand. It became popular because probably a celebrity was wearing it, and then that got traction. So the Champion were then like, do you know what, rather than having really affordable stuff and us only making a tiny percentage of profit, why don't we increase the quality and then throw it out at way more expensive, and then we'll get a lot more profit because more people want it now that it's being shown by celebrities. I really don't think it's that deep. I mean, a lot of these are really not that deep. I like what Alizé said. They need to veto using that word because I don't think they know what it means. Okay, the next one was about Tasani water and that it had salt in it. And the reason it apparently had salt in it was so that if you had to drink it, you would drink a lot more of it and therefore you would buy more.
Addicted to this cycle of like constantly being thirsty and like kind of quenching your thirst, but then not really.
Oh yeah, I was like so thirsty. Every time I would drink a bottle of Dasani, I'm like, I need another one.
More of it. Which makes me laugh considering it takes like a load of people's taste test water videos. Every single one of them tastes it and says it tastes like shit. When they open it, it says like it's carbonated and it's got like bubbles and all this.
Let's listen.
So we're getting a bit of a hiss as we are popping the cap on this.
Yeah, it's Coke.
I'm gonna open up just any other bottle of water and see if there's a fizz.
Holy shit. Fucking fizzless, man. Can you move just so I can like, holy shit, wait, no, actually come back.
That is so crazy.
Is it possible it is just carbonated water? Because I've always thought, personally, that carbonated water tastes like shit. It's always reminded me of Alka-Seltzers in water. Like, this is before I used to be able to swallow tablets when I was, like, a lot younger. Like, I know I'm talking, like, 10, 11. And I used to have really bad headaches, probably from sitting too fucking close to the television. My mum used to put these Alka-Seltzer tablets into water and I used to have to drink it. And it tasted awful. And no matter what happens, carbonated water will always taste like that to me. If it's flavoured carbonated water, like if it's Coke or Tango or Appletiser or anything flavoured carbonated water, fine. But if it's just plain carbonated water, so it's literally just the carbonation you're tasting, it tastes like shit to me. And I feel like that's what this is. But I will be honest, I've never had Tasani. We don't have that brand in the UK. I just think, again, it's just such an overreaction. And the last one is about, there's probably more about iPhones in this one, but I will be honest, I just skipped through a lot of it. It was about spying on people with your headphones.
Updating it.
For what? You have a live listen? What does that mean? You're recording me? Oh no.
Now, honestly, this is a thing that a lot of people apparently keep doing. To the point where I've seen TikToks where people have said, oh, if you have a device on you, you can check, you go on a date with someone, for example, and they place a device on you or place the headphones on you, they can track where you go and then track you to your house. And I was like, ugh. Do you know what? If people are going to spy, they're going to find ways to spy. It's not necessarily just going to be through Apple AirPods. You got Alexa, for fuck's sake. The amount of people that have those Amazon Alexas that, she's probably heard me, that they have their camera on.
December 2021, Amazon employed 1.608 million.
I knew she was going to talk to me. Alexa, thank you.
You're welcome.
If I say her name enough, she'll just start talking to me. People will always find ways to spy. You can track people through when they're online on their WhatsApp. You can track people through a shitload of their socials when they're online. You can track when, like I said, if you live with someone and you both have one of those devices. They have cameras, they have video, they have audio. A lot of people have Ring doorbell cameras, for fuck's sake. People are going to spy. They'll always find a way to do it. AirPods are just a new way to do it. Eventually, though, they are going to run out of battery, though, surely. My headphones aren't like Apple ones. They're just, you know, some cheap wireless headphones. They only have like maybe 4 hours. So you best hope that you catch them within time period of them being charged, because otherwise you're fucked. There's investigating conspiracies and there's conspiracy theories, and both of these are from 2019. Let's go through conspiracy theories first from 2019, because this also has an iPhone thing on it. There's a lot of iPhone conspiracies, really not that fucking deep. Okay, so the first one is around celebrity deepfake. This is where adult entertainers' videos are being taken, and if they look similar to a celebrity, they're being deepfaked. So a fake filter basically of that celebrity's face is going over that person, and then it'll look like a sex tape for a celebrity that a celebrity has not fucking taken.
So, are you ready? I know I am.
My name is Raquel Roper, and I am an adult producer and performer. I didn't even know what this was. I was watching Shane's videos. I am a fan, and I saw that he had a new trailer for a series. Then towards the end, I saw one of my videos.
Are you ready?
And what looked like my face, but it wasn't my face. It was Selena Gomez's face, and I just couldn't believe it. You're taking a person's content who the artist's work, and you are turning it into something that I didn't want it to be. Selena Gomez has not given consent to have her face morphed into an adult video. I don't know where this video came from. I don't know who did it or what, and there is no way for me to take legal action against this, and I think that's what the scariest part of it all is.
So, firstly, gross. Totally wrong. Secondly, the law will just have to keep up with these kind of things. I imagine that by now there probably has been a law. You would hope it would start to be written in by now. Although I will say the priorities of lawmakers at the moment is very fucking questionable. There's a lot of stuff where they're just, especially American lawmakers, seem to be taking you guys back. We've already spoken about the abortion law. I feel for you guys. You guys are literally going back in time, and it is completely wrong. There are so many things that should be prioritized over the shit they're doing at the moment. It is unreal. Anyway, things like this will get banned. Things like this will become illegal. It was mentioned in this video that people could use these kind of deep fake things to cause like all-out wars.
Now, something that could affect all of us is deepfakes could be used in politics.
This program can change facial expressions in real time.
And now I can create the President of the United States saying just about anything I want. That's terrifying.
This is an actual danger. Like, this could be a problem.
And something that Elise mentioned when she reacted to this video was that you would hope that they wouldn't take some random video on the internet as gospel and create an all-out nuclear war, which will literally probably be the end of civilization and maybe the world, from one stupid little video. You think they would get, you know, confirmed before anything like that. But I hope this hasn't happened, but there was like a little bit of a concern that it's possible that a wronged woman, if, like, for example, if her husband cheated on her and she wanted to make sure she got as much as possible in the divorce settlement, she could possibly hire someone and that semi-looked like them, put the deep fake video over and send that in. What I will say is if she did do that and she got caught, she would likely go to prison. So the next one is around iPhones always listening.
Phone's always listening, but we already knew that. Because think about it this way. When you say, hey Siri, how did she hear that? She must be listening all the time.
Why do you have to turn that feature on, the Hey Siri feature?
Well,
Or do you?
Well, it doesn't matter. Because, hey Siri, like that means to hear that, she has to have been listening the whole time.
Everything.
Right?
Yeah, but Apple's pretty forward about that. They say that they only go with that phrase and then only what you say.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
makes sense.
It's falling apart as I say it out loud.
Yeah, because it's like, well, yeah, she hears that phrase because she's listening to everything.
I'm sure they probably tell us they do. You know that 50-page accept thing that nobody's ever read? It might be in there.
Yeah, it's on like page 37.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to read it, and this is like a conspiracy video.
Neither is
I'm too lazy.
Your phones are always listening to you. A lot of technology is always listening to you, and the reason it's doing it, first of all, is so that the government can make sure that if there is any possible terrorist attacks or anything like that, they're listening constantly for specific words so that they can make sure that doesn't happen. I remember specifically around the Olympics in 2012, there was a lot of concern around the fact that London could have been hit or something like that. And there was multiple foils because the government was using things like this to be able to listen out for code words. They were able to ensure that didn't happen, that no one got hurt. Is it great that, you know, the government spy on you? No, but if it's to protect you at the end of the day and make sure thousands of people don't die, I don't know, spy away if you want. Because majority of the time, what your phones spy on you for is what you're talking about so it can sell you the next product. Forest fires, he actually covers this later as well, basically saying that the forest fires in LA don't seem to be normal forest fires. They are completely decimate the areas. There'll be one side of the road that's completely decimated and the other side of the road is absolutely perfectly fine. And it's literally from house to house. It's very, very strange. And that does look odd. But I guarantee it's just because the wind had changed or the ground was wetter on one side of the road or something like that. There is going to be a reasonable explanation for it, and completely ignoring that that is the likelihood and trying to make out that it was the government and it was lasers.
Now, the theory isn't that they're coming from outer space. The theory is that they're coming from military aircrafts.
Honestly, the amount of people that were probably hurt, the people that lost so much in those fires, the animals and wildlife that would have been hurt or killed, I don't think it's something to conspiracize about. There's a lot of things as well later on about how people have possibly died by like being killed by somebody or some sort of organization or whatever. And honestly, I feel like those things should not be conspiracized. You know, you shouldn't be making conspiracies about it because it's someone's life, it's someone's home. Conspiracy theories that are not harmful to anybody, I don't think there's any harm to that. Like one of the conspiracy theories that Stu, for example, is alive and it's going to be the killer in Scream 7. Looking forward to that. That's like my favourite conspiracy theory. Things like this that are literally about people's lives, I don't think people should be making conspiracies about it because it's harmful. Okay, so then we had investigating conspiracies. We had the computer-generated speech.
Morgan,
Yes.
give me the tea.
This is fake Donald Trump talking.
The United States is considering, in addition to other options, stopping all trade with any country doing business with North Korea.
Again, they were trying to say that this could be used to fuel, nuclear war or whatever. Again, you would expect that this sort of stuff should be able to be confirmed before someone would take the drastic action. No one goes into nuclear war like that. Otherwise, this would have happened already with Russia. It's not something anyone takes lightly. Then we have the Chuck E. Cheese pizza. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw this, it's probably because I was fucking hungry. I genuinely kind of enjoyed it.
Where does that go? Wait, okay, ready?
Yeah.
So it starts here. Okay, so then, what the fuck? Where is it going? Literally, where did it go? So clearly, there's something going on.
Right.
Literally, you could see the cheese right here. You could see the glue. You could see that they threw some cheese, like right here, to try to melt this shit together.
Oh, yeah.
Where's the other half of this come from? Because usually when you cut a pepperoni in half, the other half is right here. Where is it? I think that this was a chunk.
Yeah.
And then I think this was two pieces somebody didn't eat. Because you can see it doesn't even fit the rest.
But considering this story, which was so far-fetched, so ridiculous.
Writing, quote, "No, having worked at 2 different locations, I have never seen, ever, anyone even think this was a good idea. It just isn't worth it to CEC to do this."
And has been easily debunked. Literally, there's a whole video. I'll link it below if you want to see it. I've linked it to multiple people who have asked about this conspiracy before. Basically, what it is to do with, it's literally plain and simple, is that Chuck E. Cheese does not want their workers to get hurt by super, super sharp blades. So they use this sort of like huge pizza roller thing, and it's so blunt that they're having to go through it multiple times, and because of that, when they pick it up and go to the next bit, if there's like a bit of pepperoni, it might have got picked up and moved to another bit. It is literally that simple.
Quote, "The uneven topping look comes from the blade we use. The rocking blade has next to no edge on it for safety reasons. Therefore, it's an absolute pain when it comes to cutting pizzas with it, which is what gives it the Frankenstein look, if you will. If you want to find the other half of your pepperoni slice, it's slipped to the inside of the cut." And the former employee added that the process of transferring the pizzas from the cooking rack onto the cutting board and finally onto the serving tray is also contributing to the jostled appearance that some of the pizzas have.
And that's why pieces are kind of jagged and shit. It's really, really, really not a big deal. The other thing was around gambling.
Of gambling I've ever seen in my life.
No one seems to care.
I'm unstoppable. This is how you win in Vegas. Chuck E. Cheese version. Pull the lever.
If you're gonna introducing gambling to kids at a young age, you could say that about literally any arcade. Arcades are for kids. I mean, they're for adults as well, don't get me wrong. I love going to the South End arcade. It's just not that deep. It's not that fucking deep. They are not trying to introduce gambling to kids at a young age so they can fuck them over as they get older. If anything, is that not going to do the government worse? Because if you're spending a shitload of money gambling, you're not going to be able to pay your taxes. I'm not really going to touch on Brittany's story because I feel like Brittany's story was extremely heavy. I'll link her video about it below. She went through something extremely dire and I feel like it kind of got lost through that video.
I hate this, but I don't want anyone to go through what I went through.
Okay, so then we have conspiracy theories and subliminal messaging. The first one is about the fact that Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus had reptile eyes in some videos. The first one was when Justin Bieber got arrested. I don't know if you remember that video.
Aging in court, you couldn't really see it that well.
That video was so incredibly fucking grainy. Are you kidding me with anything to do with that video? Like, no. The second one was about Miley Cyrus's reptile eyes. It does look kind of weird on that video, but how do we know it hasn't been edited? Like, we're just going to take the internet's word. Okay, then we had faked news. There had been a crime scene further up and then they'd found more bodies and that was like the fake bit of news.
Yeah, that's right. She's literally standing in a field with police tape wrapped around 2 tripods.
They got found out, they got in trouble for it. People don't naturally try to fake shit like that because, again, super, super harmful to the people who do have loved ones who have passed away. Shane also showed a person just disappearing. Literally just an illusion. Does it look weird? Sure. But fake news? How the news faking that? You wouldn't have even noticed it unless you specifically watched it multiple times. And if you're watching the news, you don't tend to watch the same story over and over again. There was a whole bit about a fake YouTube thing that could change your eyes to green and...
It's supposed to give you green eyes after you watch it. Take a look.
If you watch this video for long enough, the person you want to call you will finally call you. And I was just like, wow, fake YouTube. Groundbreaking. Like, this is not new. It also had like misheard lyrics of Brittany Spears, and like apparently they've thought there was subliminal messaging in her Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Creepier, if you reverse her song Hit Me Baby One More Time, you can hear her say, "Sleep with me, I'm not too young."
I feel like you're just wanting to hear that. And similar with like the Boys song, it clearly said leave with me.
I mean, I remember when I was a kid and her song Boys came out, and when I heard it, I literally heard her singing, "What would it take for you to just sleep with me?" I mean, just listen for yourself. What would it take for you to just leave with me? Now, they say she's saying just leave with me.
I mean, not gonna lie, I've heard things before. I thought I heard my name in a My Chemical Romance song. Like, I can understand why my brain automatically would think it was my name, because I hear my name a lot, obviously. So I'm going to recognise my name over necessarily that word. Again, there was a lot of conspiracy theories about dead celebrities.
Oh no, not me. I've never lost control.
And I just feel like, and I mentioned this in my Aaron Carter video as well, I don't think it's okay to make conspiracy theories about people's deaths. And then we have the Mandela effect, like movies about you remembering things that you're sure was there at the time. Like, I think one of the ones in this one was about Alice in Wonderland.
What did I do? The blue dress, the white apron, and the black and white striped stockings. That's exactly how she looks in my head. When I think of her, that's what I see. But it's not. She has never had black and white striped stockings. Ever. They have always just been white. Just check out this clip from the movie.
Pineapple, roast turkey, goodness!
Yeah, no black and white striped stockings. Although, I specifically remember them, and I'm not the only one. If you look at Halloween costumes, they have the striped leggings, fan art has it, cosplay has it.
But, like, I don't remember that. I mean, the most famous Mandela effect I know of was Jaws. We're gonna need a bigger boat. That's not what he says, but all of us remember it that way.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Okay, he also had a conspiracy video about killer clowns, showing videos of them showing up in the woods, at a car wash, in the middle of nowhere, a house in the middle of the night with literally a knife walking around the fucking house. So, I'm not gonna lie, that one was a little bit creepy.
Clowns started popping up all around the country.
Oh my god! What the...
Majority of these are probably just pranks. People said that, oh, they think because there was the remake of It coming out very, very, like, shortly after that. They think this was just, like, one of them started as a publicity stunt, and then it got the ball rolling, and people were just, like, causing this hysteria around clowns or whatever. I remember something similar happening in the UK at one point. It's like the Marilyn Manson rumour that he had... I still can't get over we all fucking heard this. He had a rib taken out so he could give himself a blowjob. Everyone knew about that rumour. And I feel like this is the same thing. This thing will go around like Chinese whispers, and everyone that likes to prank people will do shit like this just to, you know, get under people's skin around Halloween. I will say his conspiracy, one of them, was that the clowns were just Donald Trump.
Donald Trump's whole campaign is based on fear. He wants people to be afraid of ISIS. He wants people to be afraid of the economy, afraid of everything, because he's gonna come and he's gonna fix everything. He's gonna fight the bad guys. He wants you to be afraid so that you will want him to be president. So what if him and his people were like, hey, what is everybody most afraid of? Being killed and clowns.
Ridiculous. I couldn't even get through this one. This was like scary proof aliens exist. It had like stuff about Area 51 and alien abduction, UFOs, cow abduction. I genuinely couldn't watch it. I didn't really watch the majority of these videos. I kind of like tried to skim them. Again, stalkers caught on camera. I feel like this is not conspiracy. Like, there was literally just videos of people who had stalked other people or got caught on security videos. Like, again, didn't bother watching it because to me it just wasn't a conspiracy. Okay, mind-blowing conspiracy theories. Voicemail Twitter. This one was kind of weird. This guy got a random voicemail and it was the phonetic alphabet and like a bunch of numbers or whatever, and that was kind of weird.
Listen to this voicemail I just got. I'm deactivating my cell phone service. Then they posted a video of the voicemail they got, and it was creepy.
Sierra, Delta, Alpha, November, Golf, Echo, Romeo.
There was a bunch of conspiracies because he deactivated his Twitter, and then there was another Twitter that got created with the same profile.
First, Ty's Twitter account was removed. Nobody knew why. Then people started noticing that the picture of Ty on his profile was actually stolen from another Twitter profile named Homicide. So then people started saying that Ty was fake. Then Erin, the girl who figured out that the coordinates were actually close to Malaysia, tweeted this. Can we all just agree that it isn't true? I regret ever saying this.
It was clearly just he created another one separate because he didn't want to deal with like the whole blowout of this got unbelievably big. It was so obvious that that's why that happened. But there was a whole conspiracy that they had killed him and then created a new one. There was something about people pretending to be BTS. BTS, is that the band? I'm really sorry. Infiltrating this app that was texting little girls.
It's an app where you can text your favorite singers or actors or BTS members
About really weird, creepy stuff.
Sounds good. You sound better. What do you mean? Oh, when you nod your head yes. Are you watching me? Do you hear the sound of blood dripping on the cold floor as she slides the thin pointed razor across your bloody wrist?
And not gonna lie, that is weird, but I guarantee it's more just due to the fact they knew young people were using it and people who are unfortunately going to try to use any kind of platform or thing they can to harm children, they were going to use it. It's genuinely a shame that something that was probably created in such a kind way to try and create this like connection between a fan and their literal idol, and it was taken advantage of. And then the Twin Towers being predicted, like again, this was something that has been seen over so much stuff.
1968 by a group of realtors where they have two tall buildings with a plane about to fly into them. Towers destroyed, so was the Pentagon.
It is time. And destroy the Pentagon.
And here's
because there are always going to be terrorist attacks in very populated fucking areas in big cities. I hope that we don't get any more. But unfortunately, that is always a possibility, and something as big as 2 fucking towers was always going to be a possibility. I work in Canary Wharf. I worry about that every day. Hope to God it never fucking happens. But it's always a possibility. There's a bunch of stuff about the Illuminati, literally so much I can't even get into.
If one day in the near future the Illuminati does actually take over, are we even going to be that surprised? I mean, at this point, we've talked about it so much that we're kind of just waiting for it to happen.
One of the conspiracies that I do semi-believe is around Brittany's voice. So there was a video on Instagram of Brittany singing a song while someone was literally circling her. It looks like the video was likely sped up because when you slow it down, her voice sounds more like it used to when she was a lot younger.
Wise men say only fools rush in.
That looks more real, right? Like, that actually looks normal.
Although, you know, as people age, their voices do fucking change, so it's possible their voice can be that high. Because there has literally been video of her singing live that high voice, so it very possibly is that. But she can't do it for possibly a really long time. So I do feel like that is a possibility, but at the same time, or are you just clutching at straws? The fake followers, oh my god. So this was with like James Charles, and they went through how many like Ryland, James, Shane had of fake followers.
So excited to express himself.
Oh
my god!
Okay, alright.
Oh my god! Right now I'm scared. Alright. I have not bought them.
Oof. 600.
What?
Yep.
And Oh my fucking god. Shane had a lot, and I remember Elise has said a couple of times that Shane has bought followers before, and it was pretty obvious because I can't remember the exact thing she said. I'm really sorry. I want to say it's because I know he gets a lot of fake comments, because I remember when I used to be a fan, at least, there was always those things like, oh, you've won a prize, although a lot of people get those, so it's not just him, but his was full of those. I'm talking like you'd scroll and you'd easily see 10 to 20 of them, whereas if you scroll on other people's, it used to be like maybe 1 or 2. I mean, they're becoming a lot more common again now. It did make me laugh that he had the highest, because he literally likely has bought his own followers. It was a conspiracy theory about movie posters all being the same. Literally the studio has seen that this type of photo works well, and therefore let's create that multiple times and we'll get likely a very similar effect with people going to see our fucking movie. It is really, really, really not that fucking deep, because he uses the headless woman as like the trope on this.
But movie posters are where the headless woman has really taken over. Agencies charge less money if the model is unrecognizable.
Again, it's just sex sells, women sell. Like, it's really not that fucking deep. Also, people are influenced, whether they mean to be or not. They are influenced, subconsciously influenced by other things they see. Like, for example, I keep seeing the new Too Faced Born to Glow foundation or whatever it is, and it's in the same packaging as one of my Holy Grail foundations, the Dior foundation, and I keep automatically, subconsciously thinking, oh, I'm going to really like that Too Faced foundation because I already absolutely love the Dior foundation. And the only fucking thing that's the same about them is that they're both in the same packaging. So my subconscious is saying, buy it, you'll love it. It's going to be the same as your Dior one. It's not. By a different company, different formula, it's glowy, it's not great for oily skin, but my brain consistently tells me you're gonna love that foundation. And it's literally just because it's in the same packaging. Like, your subconscious does stupid things. Okay, so then we have the pop culture video. The conspiracy theory, I feel like this has actually been confirmed, that Starbucks gets people's names wrong so that you will be more likely to take a photo of your cup and they will get more promotion.
And why can't they get your fucking name right?
I will say, I actually gave promotion to Starbucks in Malaysia. I'll never forget it, because I was just like, how in the UK, where my name is very fucking common, did they get it wrong all the time? But in Malaysia, where it's not a common name at all, they got it perfectly right. And he put a little smiley face. That was when I had to get out of the hotel room, because I had to let my hotel room be cleaned, and I was just like, oh, the local Starbucks and kill like an hour. And literally, I will never forget it. As I left, the guy said goodbye to me by name. It was so, so sweet. Another Illuminati one, that we were being distracted by fidget spinners so that we'd be distracted from the news.
Okay, first of all, I don't even have to say it. Illuminati confirmed. But besides that, the real theory is that fidget spinners are meant to distract us. World currently, and how insane it is. All the craziness that's going on in the White House, all the craziness that's going on with the ISIS attacks. But what is everybody and their mom talking about instead of those things? Fucking fidget spinners.
Is that a conspiracy? That the government is putting fluoride or chloride in the tap water in certain areas to make people more lethargic.
What's coming out of your tap water, if you live in a place where you get fluoridated water, is a chemical soup.
Again, I skipped through a lot of this. Don't kill me if I'm getting these conspiracies wrong. But there was apparently some sort of conspiracy that the government are putting like chemicals in your water for a reason, rather than to keep your teeth clean. Because he used Europe don't have all these chemicals in their water, and America do, but we have very similar dental health or whatever to Europe. And it's like, yes, but you also all drink shitloads of fucking coffee. The UK is a big tea drinker. There are so many more chemicals in American food. So many more. And it could be due to the fact that America is much, much bigger. This isn't a conspiracy. There's literally a thing about the fact that American chocolate tastes more like vomit than, like, for example, English chocolate, because English chocolate production does not happen far enough away from dairy production. So American chocolate has to be made with like dried milk and things like that, rather than fresh milk, because the land mass to get from A to B, from the dairy farmer to the production of the chocolate, is so far that the stuff would have gone off by the time it got there. Whereas in the UK, very, very different. It could just be something to do with, you know, the amount of shit that you guys have put in your food. There was a conspiracy, again, don't see how this is a conspiracy theory. There was a guy who was literally just sitting down staring at the camera for hours and hours and hours, and his place was broken into.
One of the theories is that Benjamin is being forced to make these videos by some crazy person who has kidnapped him.
What?
How is that a conspiracy? There's literal video evidence. You could say it's super creepy. How is that a conspiracy? There was a video of a pigeon saluting Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, the fucking pigeon saluted.
And I was like, yeah, because that's not edited. Shane got sent it, and the person knew he's going to fall for that. I guarantee. Again, similar thing, Instagram, who are you?
Exactly who you are. So basically you DM them, and then they send you a DM back saying a bunch of things about your life that there's no way they could know. Now this account gets taken down a lot.
It's probably on your phone or through your text messages, and this person is 100% just hacking or using your IP address that they've hacked to figure all this shit out. That person, hopefully their Instagram's been taken down. He said he was a psychic, but I don't believe that for a second. Apparently this was meant to be like a distraction, that Yanni versus Laurel, using, like, it even got to the news or whatever.
Or Laurel. Who hears Laurel? Then I got to work, I played it, and all I could hear was Laurel.
Oh, I didn't
It's
hear
really weird.
So I heard Laurel, and now I can't hear Laurel anymore. I'm hearing Yanni.
The blue dress thing, I don't believe anyone's seeing that as gold. I feel like you must have colorblindness between blue and purple or some shit, because, like, how are you seeing anything but blue? Yanni versus Laurel, I will say, he goes further into this saying, like, oh, you'll hear, like, this super staticky, sped up noise, and then he slows it down so you can literally hear what it says, and then when you speed it up again, you can actually still figure out what it says, and it's like, well, of course, because your brain already knows what it's looking for. That is literally the Yanni versus Laurel thing. If you look at a word, hear the audio, your brain is looking at that word, whereas if you just listen to it, you will hear whatever your brain was eventually going to hear. Again, it's not a conspiracy theory, it's literally just how our brains work. Brains are not perfect motherboards. Sometimes, like, things get messed up in there. I mean, for fuck's sake, it's amazing, literally amazing, that our brains are able to interpret the image the correct way up, because our brain automatically has to correct that, because otherwise you'd see everything upside down. Our brains are marvellous. They're mind-boggling to me. There was a whole Post Malone versus Justin audio.
Pitch up Post Malone's voice. It sounds just like Justin Bieber.
I've been fucking hoes and popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star. All my brothers got that gas and they always be smoking like a rock star. And my homies pull up on your block, they make that thing go grata-ta-ta.
This actually happens a lot in, apparently, the music industry, where if they need to just use a little bit of vocal or whatever. I mean, they said that about, oh god, what the fuck was her name? Avril Lavigne, and music and vocals being used for somebody else's.
Old, never released Avril Lavigne music that they kind of added a couple of her vocals to. Just listen to this clip from Avril. Now listen to Avril's demo version.
Honestly, the Post Malone one, I just think their vocals sound quite similar. In those specific moments, they have very similar sounding voices. And again, your brain will hear what you want it to hear. Oh, the Ancestry report. Oh my god. Government is trying to get your DNA. It was trying to get people 23 and below to send in their DNA so they would have DNA on file.
Welcome to 23andMe.
Age reversal.
Imagine if you could turn back time. Well, today we're a step closer.
Okay. The government doesn't need to do that. Like, for example, okay, throughout COVID, I was I got a letter through my door to ask me by the government. They were asking a select number of people in my area, and probably in loads of other areas as well, to do a monthly swab. You'd get £25 a month for each swab that you do. And they were using that to do tests to try and further COVID research. If the government need DNA, there is fucking loads of people that are struggling, and they will do very similar things. They will send a letter out to people. I don't know if they did this in America, but they definitely clearly did this in the UK. And they will request that. You don't have to participate. You can literally say, I don't want to participate this month, or I don't want to participate anymore. I did it for the other reason of that I got to get tested every single month, and I didn't have to worry about trying to take COVID tests away from people that genuinely needed it. Whereas I worked from home, I didn't really necessarily need to desperately get checked every single month, but it was good to. But anyway, So genuinely don't believe for a second this was the government trying to get people's DNA. K-pop and in general music stars being like extremely exhausted and the music industry taking advantage of them. This is thoroughly known already, especially K-pop stars are worked like 24 hours, something stupid.
Come out 32, you don't have a uni degree, you don't have money, you don't have a girlfriend, and you've got nothing.
They're consistently worked, they're hardly able to eat, they're fat shamed when they're like slightly overweight or some shit. And again, like linking music industry to people's deaths. Stop making conspiracy theories about people's deaths. There's a whole thing about flat earth. I feel like I need to make a whole video. If we're going to go through flat earth, I feel like we need to make a whole video debunking all of the flat earth bullshit. I don't think this is a conspiracy, but there was a thing about DMT or a drug, some sort of drug, where the first time you take it, it says, "I'm so glad you found this technology," or some shit.
The drug DMT. 90% of people that smoke this drug, when they first smoke it, they hear in their head, "We're so happy you found this technology."
Ew! Oh my god! Right? Ew!
So,
and they were trying to say like, oh, well, you know, the government put people in prison for life for having weed on them or whatever, which is not a drug that's exceedingly harmful, whereas things like prescription drugs and alcohol, you know, are completely legal.
Sentenced to life without parole for possession of marijuana?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
alcohol are legal, prescription drugs are legal, you know, things that are really killing people. So they want to suppress us.
And the reason those are fucking legal is because they are able to be taxed and the government are able to make a shitload of money out of it. Do I think it's right? No. I don't think that something as a stimulant like weed, which helps cancer patients, it helps people with anxiety. CBD helps a lot of people. But I also don't think the consistent normalization of prescription drugs and alcohol and cigarettes is okay either. Like, for example, in the UK, there is a big thing about binge drinking. It's almost normalized if you're going to go out drinking with your friends to get completely plastered drunk where you can hardly even fucking walk. Like, you do you, I'm not trying to shame anybody, but that is not healthy. It's not healthy to the person. Weed isn't going to do that to you, for example. So it's like, how is that legal but that not? And you can go into fucking prison for years for weed. Doesn't make sense, 100%. But it's not conspiracy. It's just the government. Although weed is likely eventually, I think, going to be legalized. Popular conspiracy theories. Another iPhone one. Slowing down iPhones. Not conspiracy. Firstly, they've already confirmed it. They said that lithium batteries, the older they are, the worse, the slower they're going to get, in which case they have to slow down the phones to make sure that the lithium batteries don't die out.
As lithium batteries age, they get weaker. So we had to slow the phone to avoid the phones crashing to compensate for the naturally deteriorating battery. Or in other words, we purposely slow down your phones, you fucking idiots.
Not a conspiracy. The only thing I would say is that I would prefer if you were just able to change out the battery. Do you remember when we used to be able to fucking swap out batteries in phones? That's never a thing anymore. I just remember having those really old brick phones and people used to have spare batteries charged so they wouldn't have to have a cable all the fucking time. Oh, I miss the good old days sometimes. Not a conspiracy. We're getting there. So there was a conspiracy about Travis. This was a woman that killed a guy and took photos. I can't remember her friggin' name. But the victim was called Travis, and people were saying that Psycho, even though it was made 30 odd years, if not more, before this happened, they're saying that Alfred Hitchcock had a vision of Travis being killed and that's why he made Psycho.
They say directors have a vision. Well, what if Alfred Hitchcock did have a vision? And in his vision, he saw this scene happening, so he recreated it in his movie. But what if that vision was of Travis? What if the universe put that in his head?
No. How about it's possible that Jodie, that was her friggin' name, Jodie's subconscious, possibly, you know, she'd seen Psycho before, and maybe that's why it was very similar, or it could just be the fact that it was a coincidence. It's likely it's just a coincidence, let's be honest. Again, fake news, talking about a satellite interviewing the same friggin' thing.
Now in this clip, Nancy Grace is doing a satellite interview with another reporter.
Red truck, bus.
Sometimes interviews are set up in these specific ways because it's easier for the cameraman, or like they don't have the set available or the lighting available or whatever. They just don't have that piece of set available, so they'll just do it in this way because it's easier, faster, whatever. Like, it's sometimes just not that fucking deep. Talked about wildfires and lasers. Considering he'd already covered that in an older video, I'm surprised he recovered it in a newer one. I say newer, it was 2019, but you know what I mean. He wanted to say, like, about conspiracy theories about kids' shows, all the sexualization because they were always showing their feet, or there was a lot of crude stuff with Ariana Grande actually. But
now, besides the fact that there are some pretty sexual and creepy images in some of these Nickelodeon shows,
I'm thirsty.
Notorious, you see Ariana Grande literally trying to suck her own toes.
this is known that this was just the fucking director. They had creepy directors, and because of that, these kids were taken advantage of. Plain and simple, it's not a conspiracy theory. There was a whole bit about Riverdale. The only thing that I found even slightly interesting was about It Follows having a similar poster, and it was literally because made by the same director or producer company or whatever.
A lot of movie posters looking very similar. TV posters
It
looking
Follows.
similar.
Is that what
Yes!
I thought the same thing.
It's the same
No, I
exact
thought the same thing.
poster.
When I saw the poster, I was like, it looks like It Follows. And I'll be honest, our director, Lee Krieger, showed us a reel of all these different moods that he liked from different movies, and It Follows was one of the biggest moods that he was obsessed with. So it could have just been inspired by that.
It Follows was kind of one of the inspirations for the vibe of Riverdale. So that theory's right.
Then we got pop music conspiracies, which makes me laugh because Marilyn Monroe in here and Hillary Clinton, they're not pop music. Maybe they weren't pop culture, but because he already had a pop culture, he called this one pop music. I don't fucking know. Again, said about Britney Spears' voice, and that she did have a song that was meant to come out called Mona Lisa that said about her feeling trapped.
Then she went to work on some music. She didn't tell anybody in her record label. She wrote an album that she called Original Doll, and there was a bunch of songs on it that she wrote herself, and she had never written music before. So these were all coming from her heart. There were songs where she was talking about feeling like a manufactured pop star. There were songs where she talked about feeling like she was lying to people. And
again, we already know that how much she's been taken advantage of. Not a conspiracy. Oh my god. The fact that Taylor Swift's favourite number is 13.
Instead, she decided to have it be Taylor Swift 13. Her first #1 song hit #1 in its 13th week, and she said in interviews that anytime she goes to an award show, she tries to sit in seat 13.
That's linked to the Illuminati.
Supposedly, when the Illuminati is looking to initiate somebody into their group, you have to go through an initiation. And one of the biggest ways they do that is by public humiliation. They want to see how you handle being humiliated. And if you handle it well, then you're in.
Yo, Taylor!
I don't know if you can see that. I have a 13 there, I have a 13 here, I have a 13 in my ear. I'm down. People just sometimes like the number 13. Sometimes people just like certain numbers. A conspiracy theory about Marilyn Monroe being in the Illuminati, that she was figuring out that the president that she sung Happy Birthday to, she was getting closer to him and understanding more about the Illuminati.
It was John F. Kennedy, who supposedly is part of the bloodline. Now, on his birthday in 1962, she went up on stage and sang him a song. Check it out.
Happy birthday.
A few months later, she died. And a lot of conspiracy theorists think that she got really close to him. She found out about the Illuminati, and she was going to expose them. So they had her.
Can we not make conspiracy theories about people's deaths? Can we not? She died way too young, and considering everything we know, people are much more open about their mental health now than they were likely back then, because it's a lot more normalized than it was back then. Before it was like, if you had depression, oh, you're just sad, get over it. Like, that was the kind of expectation, whereas now it's like, people understand that it's a proper mental condition, it's proper mental illness, it can cripple people. There was a conspiracy theory about Hillary Clinton, like, having this little, almost neck spasm.
I was very proud to have
Did you talk about vice presidential possibilities?
That she was like weak and always needed help, and that she had a paramedic showing as a bodyguard or whatever.
Pretty much everywhere with Hillary, and you would think just by, his attire that he's a bodyguard or a secret service, maybe even an advisor. But he's also been seen wearing this badge which shows that he's actually a paramedic.
Again, this is one of the ones where I was laughing at, because he debunks before he thinks she's being controlled, but she's literally said previously that she's had a blood clot.
Symptoms of blood clots: weakness, problems with vision or speech,
upward spiral,
seizures.
So I'm not being funny, but if she's had a blood clot previously, she probably has an underlying health condition. Really not that fucking deep. You're literally looking for things that aren't there. And then there was a bunch of Mandela effects, like Skechers versus Flintstones.
Comfort.
What? Okay, that looks wrong, right? Doesn't that logo look wrong? Movie Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones.
What? That T was not there. I specifically remember Flintstones.
Okay, we're almost done. 2 more videos. If you feel like this is long, I had to go through this for like 2 hours. And I've got to edit this and clip in all these clips. So, feel sorry for me. Okay, so then we had the TV shows Conspiracies. There was a Friends photo where it was all of the friends with their eyes closed and Rachel was the only one with their eyes open. And they were like, oh, it was all a dream of Rachel's or something.
The box set of the 4th season of Friends. Do you notice anything weird about it? That's right. When you really look at it, you notice that Rachel is the only one looking at the camera while everyone else is asleep. This entire show was just a dream. And the reason she's looking at the camera is because the whole show has been from her POV and everyone else is just asleep.
I'm pretty sure this is well known. Rachel was originally meant to be the main character of the sitcom, and that's why she likely was the one who had her fucking eyes open, because originally it wasn't meant to be like a very all 6 characters completely shared experience. It was meant to be solely on Rachel, so they probably had those photos done before that was decided. The saddest one, which the producer has already said, like, this is complete bullshit, and that's the saddest thing I've ever heard, is that it was all, every single episode and every single story was in Phoebe's head.
This entire world of Friends is all inside of Phoebe's head. Yes, maybe Phoebe never got her life together. Maybe she stayed living on the streets. Maybe she continued to do drugs. In an earlier episode, she talked about sleeping outside of the coffee shop. She stayed there. What if she had been living on the streets outside of the coffee shop her entire life?
That's the saddest thing I've ever fucking heard. There was another suicidal ideation. He talked about this in one of the conspiracy videos as well, 2019 ones, about suicide ideation, and that's why some sort of conspiracy around 13 Reasons try to put the suicide into people's heads for whatever reason. They said about RuPaul's Drag Race. Again, this is not conspiracy. RuPaul's Drag Race have literally confirmed this is the case, saying that they film 3 endings so that the audience can't out who won before they actually release the episode, and that's why the ending seems a bit stilted or whatever.
Feels weird. It almost doesn't feel exciting and kind of feels fake.
Maybe they should just do it live. Again, Prodigy, Illuminati, people think that they killed him even though he'd been sick for years.
Now, Prodigy was sick for years. He had chronic sickle cell anemia, and he had been battling it for decades. Well, he was in the hospital getting treatment for it, and he died. Claims that the autopsy will say he died of accidental asphyxiation.
I will say this one was kind of weird. There was a 2006 John Tucker Must Die. There was a guy that had something in his ear and people think it looks like an AirPod because it looks like a wireless headphone.
Yeah, the guy is wearing cordless white iPhone headphones in his ears.
But what I will say is I saw Definitely Maybe, and this was like, what, 2011 or whatever it was? And they had wireless headphones, and wireless headphones weren't even a thing yet. So maybe it was just, they were like, oh, the chords look right in this thing, you're going to be in the background, no one will notice, we'll just cut them off. Maybe it was something as simple as that. Maybe the things were getting in the way, or the guy kept getting caught or something. It could just be something so fucking simple. And people are making out that, oh my god, it's because the guy's from the future. Like, really? There was a whole conspiracy about mermaids, there was photos.
I mean, here's a picture that somebody took where you can see what looks like a mermaid on a rock.
They said there was a video. This was not a video of mermaids. Literally, the person said it was dolphins.
Now, the person who originally uploaded that video called it dolphins swimming, so they didn't actually think it was mermaids.
I saw it and thought, those are dolphins. And Shane's brain goes, those are mermaids. Your brain is working overtime to find any conspiracy. The photos could have easily been faked. They could have been edited. One of them literally looks like a person with a fish laying on top of it.
Then you have this famous picture of a man standing next to what looks like a huge mermaid.
There was a really weird creature that just looked like it was probably something from a science fiction movie.
Creepy picture that looks like the body of a mermaid.
It could literally be someone filmed something for some indie movie, it fell into the water and drifted up onto the sea bank. It's very unlikely it's going to be an actual mermaid. Mermaids are not things. If they are, I mean, to be fair, there's so much in the depths of the ocean that are still unexplored. So it's very possible there's still a lot of creatures out there that we do not know about. It scares the shit out of me, I'm not going to lie. That is scary. Then, last one I want to talk about is the children's show conspiracy theories. So we've got subliminal messaging in toys and dolls.
Everyone's going to be talking about this weekend. A mother changes the batteries on her son's talking Elmo doll and is stunned to hear what comes out of its mouth. You will be too. That's right. The Elmo doll is saying, "Kill James." That's the name of the boy who owns the Elmo Knows Your Name doll.
It's backwards, so I thought I wanted to know what it said, so I thought I'd have a look. Ignore the first bit. So it says, Ruloff thinks you're so pretty. I've got my eye on you.
Again, I feel like people are looking for things that aren't there the majority of the time. They're literally turning things backwards and listening to them being like, I'm pretty sure that says hell. It's like when there's a specific thing where, like, human beings, we will always see faces in things. Like, if we look at a car, we will see a face. Our brain tries to find faces because it's an instinctual survival instinct. Hidden Illuminati messaging in kids' toys. Like, we're trying to get kids into the Illuminati, are we?
What? Literally, it says the Illuminati. Right there. Why would that be there? What would the purpose of that be? But this isn't the only kid show that has Illuminati symbols. I mean, first of all, The Fairly Odd Parents is covered in Illuminati symbols. I mean, people have been screenshotting those ones for years. The kid's alter ego name is Timmy Triangle, which is literally the symbol of the Illuminati. Now, even on the show DuckTales, if you freeze the picture, you'll see in the background, there's an eye chart that says, "Ask about Illuminati."
What is this conspiracy? The backstory for Flintstones was there'd been a nuclear war, apparently. Honestly, this is kind of a cool backstory, I'm not gonna lie. And that's why they just kind of recreate society.
So the Flintstones was a cartoon that aired back in the 1960s about a family that lived in the prehistoric times. Or did they? Well, what if there was a nuclear war? And what if the Flintstones were just one of the many families that had to start over? TVs made out of rocks. They have Christmas trees and Christmas parties. How do they even know what Christmas is? They have banks. They have fake money. They even at one point put on wigs and played guitar and pretended to be the Beatles.
Technically makes sense. But do you not think it's maybe due to the fact that we, in the 20th century and 21st century, we see those as normal items like a television, a phone. We see those as normal things, especially kids. Kids aren't, if this was more documentary style, where we would go back all the way to like the cave fucking day, it's not going to be entertaining for kids, is it? Like, documentaries 100% are entertaining, but more for adults or like teenagers, people that are going to properly understand. They had to be, like, had to be dumbed down for kids so that they understood it, so that they could. And also, like, pop culture references are enjoyable. I'm not going to lie, that's probably one of my favourite conspiracies. Even though it's just a theory, it's not a fucking conspiracy. They were saying that Teletubbies and Harry Potter were linked.
Who else had a lightning bolt on their head? But if you take the other three and you put their symbols together, you get the symbol of the Deathly Hallows.
And do you not think maybe this could just be because they're very, very simplistic symbols and therefore they're going to be anywhere? They said about, like, it was really creepy that the Teletubbies were huge.
Look at this picture. Look at that. Look at the tall man next to them compared to how tall they are. That's fucking horrifying.
And it's like, well, yeah, they're big costumes. Like, how do you know there isn't a platform, like, within the suit so that their eyes are at the correct place? Does that not make more sense? The fact that he literally said that he cannot unsee that Taco Bell has a reptile eye in the bell.
Look closer at the bell in that logo and think about a reptile eye. Literally, I cannot unsee it.
Why is that a conspiracy? Just because, again, you see face, something related to a face, does not mean it just looks semi-similar. It clearly looks like a fucking bell. If you really try. Again, it's like the Yanni versus Laurel. If you're looking for something, you will fucking find it. Okay, the last one, Disneyland being haunted.
I mean, there is a long list of people that have been decapitated on a ride, crushed to death, thrown from a ride. There have been so many unlucky things that have happened at Disneyland. And it makes you wonder why. Well, maybe Disneyland is haunted.
They're saying that all the accidents happen because people's ashes are put into the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. First of all, how do you know that? Secondly, do you not think maybe, just maybe, accidents happen at big theme parks because rides get old, things fall apart? The more that a ride is used, the more it will wear and tear. A bit like a fucking car. It's really not a conspiracy. It's not haunted. I mean, I've literally heard something that sounds like a freaking ghost in my flat, and I don't think that's haunted. Anyway, oh my god, I cannot believe how many non-conspiracies. That wasn't even all of his videos. I went through 13. 13. Maybe that's Illuminati. Well, none of them were conspiracies. Even the ones that, like, I kind of like the Flintstones thing. It's not a conspiracy theory, it's just a theory. It's literally not a conspiracy theory. Guy needs to understand the difference. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video and you like the long form content, make sure to give us a like and subscribe if you like it. I'd really appreciate it. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, because the amount of fucking hours I'm going to have to spend on editing this and going back through those videos to get all the clips, I'm going to go fucking crazy. Appreciate if you liked it. Leave me a comment if you want to see anything similar, or if there's any other videos you want to see from me. I'd love to hear your guys' feedback. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!